Da-da-da-da. Oh, I got some backlighting going on. Where'd that come from? Oh, I see. Yes, I know. I'm the lighting person and everything. This is Dr. Mia Lueth. It's January 2nd, 2026. And may everyone's 2026 be better than their 2025. Whatever that means to you. It's 1:26 p.m. Eastern Time, New York, USA. And, oh, you gotta, hold on. I need to have a chat with my makeup and wardrobe people. Just, anyway, yes, this is exactly what I look like when I get out of bed in the morning. I did actually. I haven't been really feeling as well. You know, I have some serious medical conditions, and I sometimes just I'm just not all together. And I did go somewhere today and realized after I sat down and started chatting with people that I was still wearing my stitch pajama bottoms. I also almost took down a wall trying to get down the steps earlier. Yes, my legs don't work like they should. So I kind of like missed the bottom step and then tripped on the second step and wrenched my knee pretty good. Yes, I'm injured on a daily basis. As far as I know, there's not much I can do about it. I do have a medical condition which is known as a movement disorder, and yes, functional neurological disorder. Those have similar, we call them symptoms, uh, to Parkinson's. So yes, and also other pain conditions. But I do try and have a laugh at myself because I have nowhere else to really how to work that. So yes, I did. I almost took out a wall earlier today. It was gonna be either me or the wall. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, okay, wall one meets wall two. I'm pretty sure. The good news about all that is that it's not a retaining wall, so everything would have been okay. I just probably would have had a lot of drywall dust on me and then have to figure out how to patch a knee-sized hole in the wall. Yes, I am trying to stick with ice hockey during the ice hockey season, but I put little tidbits about myself in there because this is a multi-purpose vlog, which then apparently turns into a podcast, and people don't like talking to me or chatting or other things, so I'm just do it anyway. But yeah, Winnipeg Jets. Well, we're moving on to the Ottawa Senators. That's the next game. Uh, yeah, It really is going to be interesting watching the Winter Classic, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. New York Rangers, Florida Panthers, because it's like outdoor ice in Miami just seems a little crazy, to be honest. Well, I understand. It is ice hockey. Right. I mean, yes, I was just looking at something posted. It looks like the neighborhood slip and slide. I mean, they'll at least have some fun. Here you go. I mean, you think circus ice is bad, people? Wow. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I'm guessing, right? They're gonna have a way to keep it frozen, and it's not gonna melt as much. Okay, so but this will be an interesting outdoor winter classic held in Florida. And hello, hockey Florida people. Hello, Jets. Right. I love the Tampa Bay and the Florida Panthers. Why? Because I'm sure 5 years before those clubs became real, the people who were trying to get those codes built were probably known as crazy or stupid or who the hell else knows? Okay, like that's how shit gets done. That's why they like the Jamaican bobsled team. Like I'm sure, like their own friends and family and people around them, yep, trying to talk them out of it, right? But yet they did it anyway. So you know, right. I still don't know about my health. I'm because of the holidays. A lot of doctors and specialists, their offices are closed. I still have to go see. In about a week, I guess. I'll end up being scheduled with my gastroenterologist, and on the 12th, I have a primary care physician appointment. Likely, what's going to happen is my orthopedic surgeon is not going to go through with giving me a brand new hip uh, on February 2nd because I have a sliding hiatal hernia and a couple other things which make me getting surgery a bit more right, treacherous and difficult. This is my life. Yeah. But I'm wondering whoever they might be in this world, and especially doing things in the United States of America. Why is it that, people, good, decent people who don't have criminal records, why is it that some of you think that someone like me should live in squalor because my family is deceased and trying to work would mean I need proper support because I'm disabled. Yeah, and right, I have, you know, a very difficult medical condition. And for some reason, okay, some of you assholes out there in the world all thinking in your heads thoughts, oh, like for some reason, someone like me, I'm supposed to live in squalor. You ever heard of quality of life? Why? Why do I have to live in squalor? With, yeah, one of those slumlords. Well, it's definitely not because I'm lazy, you ignorant turds. Okay, well, you're gonna run into more and more and more issues, you ass backward old boys club. Okay, you're not in charge anymore. Just get a hold of that and accept it for your own sakes. Yeah, so I know people. I read a lot of the blogs and I go through a lot of the press and other kind of stuff that has to do with the Winnipeg Jets. And I got to be honest with you, I think I'm starting to get a much more clear picture as to why Canada can't win a Stanley Cup. Yeah, and I would definitely encourage. I've heard some do it, like Mr. Sean Reynolds on the Kenny Rennie Show, which is was yesterday the first. Although I think we did no, I think we went into this morning. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Uh, right, talking about the Jets, and Sean Reynolds mentioned when he was young, remembering when the NHL franchise left, and there's other people who remember. But does anybody remember why? Because I'm 100% sure that those people who do remember that and are now happy that they do now have an NHL franchise back in the peg probably don't want to be repeating the same mistakes and probably do want to speak up and, yes, you know, do what's necessary to make sure they don't lose it again. Okay. I remember Jets 1.0, and I remember when Jets 1.0 left, but now we have Jets 2.0. And I'm going to say this, and I don't really care. Oh, by the way, this is also considered educational, so you can use it. Just please don't change the meaning of what I'm saying. Okay? Free educational, right? Okay? Like, I mean, I get credit for saying it, but yes. I don't know why these things happen entirely, but I will say that, listen, NHL fans, air quote fans, listen to me carefully. There is nothing in writing anywhere on planet Earth, nor is it implied by anyone at all that because you buy a ticket to an ice hockey game, your team is going to win that game. Okay? If you buy season tickets, there is absolutely nothing in writing, nor is it implied that your team is going to make the playoffs or win the Stanley Cup. Nothing anywhere written, and it's not even implied. So why don't you just go ahead and get all that stupidity out of your heads now and zip it, zip the pie holes, take a deep breath, hold 2, 3, 4, and then blow it all out. Okay. All right. Some of you, if you want to be miserable, then go somewhere else and do not share your misery with others, please. Okay? There's nothing written anywhere that indicates because you bought a ticket to an ice hockey game that your team is going to win. And there is nothing at all written or even implied that because you have season tickets, your team is going to make the playoffs. And especially win a Stanley Cup. I mean, there's 32 teams, right? 16 aren't going to make it, and only one can play to win the cup. So, I guess also something Sean Reynolds said on the Kenny and Rennie show. I guess last Kenny and Rennie show was after, right? The Maple Leafs took advantage in the third period of perhaps the Winnipeg Jets kind of sitting back on their heels a little bit too much, thinking that a 3-goal lead is guaranteed to win you an ice hockey club. Just like some of the people who made comments on the Kenny and Rennie show. Not in today's National Hockey League, it doesn't. It gives you a sporting chance. But like I said, I've seen teams not be able to score for the first 2 periods, and it's like 5-0. In today's National Hockey League, yes, it is 2026, all over the world now. Yeah, today's National Hockey League. These are the facts. This is the reality. This is the truth. Straight out. Okay? Some of you, I mean, if you like to argue, I know some are just argumentative because they like it. That's okay. Right. I get it. But I mean, you have to understand the actual reality. Okay, just like this is not like fantasy fucking ice hockey, and it's the same for every single, and it's been this way for a while now. Okay, just because you have season tickets to, let's say, the Jets, there is zero guarantee in writing, or even it's not even implied that the Jets are going to make the playoffs in any particular season. It's the exact same thing for every franchise, all 32. By the way, yes. I mean, if I got to do it, then so does everybody else. But let's, think about quality of life issues. Well, I mean, I'm asking my fellow countrymen, right? United States American citizens who are around, all around me all the time, like, you guys think that when people, good, decent people, have, serious, serious challenges. Like, I'm 53, and the entirety of my family said, "No, I don't have like missing family somewhere." Or, it's not like we aren't, talking to each other. They're dead. I can't borrow money from dead people. I can't ask dead people to drive me to the doctor or hold my hand when I'm scared shitless. Yet another reason I would like to vacate the United States of America. Canada. Right. Uh, some of you don't really understand the game. You don't. There is no reason for anyone to be thinking and acting as though just because you bought a ticket to an ice hockey game, the team is guaranteed to win. Because that's just not true. And it's not even implied. Same thing with season tickets. If you have season tickets for an ice hockey club in the National Hockey League, at no point in time has it been written or stated or even implied that your team is going to make the playoffs at any given year. Okay? Now, there's a difference. And it is something that Sean Reynolds said, and I'm glad he said it because I concur. And that's the way I feel is, well, I love ice hockey. I'm an ice hockey fan. Just ice hockey in general. And other types of hockey, but ice hockey far and away is my favorite, and I do not keep that a secret. Okay? When you're an ice hockey fan, you just happy that there's 82 games a season that you get to listen to, watch, enjoy. And, I used to go to live ice hockey games. I am not able to do that anymore. Not without help. Now, there's some people not in the know have told me, well, why didn't you ask for help sooner? And like, I've been asking for help even online. Like 20 years ago on my, yes, singing from the crease.wordpress.com. I asked for help a lot. And people ignored me. because I'm somebody else's problem, or I'm not willing to give you a blow job because you let me stay in your horse barn when I had nowhere else to go and I paid you rent. Gentlemen, class it up. I know some fellows are not like that. But this is my life. And I'm letting you know what it's like. No, I'm not gonna give a dude a blowjob because he let me stay in his horse barn where I had nowhere else to go. Because I paid him cash rent. Okay? Like, I don't even need high class, but middle of the range class would be nice. Moving on. Yes, the ice hockey. I don't care what anybody says. I know this game. I learn and read from people who are experienced. I learn from elders. I learn from the greats. I read. I talk to people. I listen to all the press. And I mean, geez, Wallace disappears. But yeah, there's a couple few others talking Jets hockey out there, and these dudes get paid, and I don't. Okay, well then, you can't be comparing me to people who get paid or sponsored. And by the way, everybody, I'm not going to go fill out a McDonald's application, you ignorant shits. You understand? Because I'm used to getting headhunted. By multi-million dollar, if not billion-dollar businesses and organizations. That's how it goes. That's how it works in my life. So I don't give a shit how it works in anybody else's life, but that's how it works in my life. And when it comes to working with goalies, okay, just pro or semi-pro. It's not like I wouldn't if it were someone else. It's just, right, I'm not prepaying for ice time. And I don't drive anymore. Well, I don't have a car, for one thing, but also, right, I have a movement disorder, and it's probably not a really good idea, unless it's one of those self-driving cars, that I be behind the wheel, you ignorant shits. Now, when I talk about goalies, I know what the hell I'm talking about. When I talk about the National Hockey League, I know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, but Sean Reynolds mentioned it. It's just like he's a fan of ice hockey. Yes, okay, me too. And there's some others. If it wasn't going to be the Jets, it'd be someone else. Point blank. These guys have a whole nother half of a season to go. Like 40 some games left. And I'm excited that I'm able to at least watch them, except for last night. I was not, but I listened to CJOB 680. And the post game included, which it was not Kelly Moore. He was talking, it was yeah. Oh, no, I did. I actually calling that person a whiner. Okay. However, it's not required to play every single one of these games. That's not smart ice hockey. Okay, goalies should be in a good rhythm. And, starting goalies, they should know themselves. And by this point, yes, Connor Hellebuyck should. Right. Okay. That was too many consecutive games. And Connor Hellebuck needs to be in a good rhythm with the Jets. So 5 games, 4 games, then off a game. And Eric Comrie got too cold. Hence the shitty play. Because that was a warm-up game. Okay? You guys let Eric Comrie get too cold. And nothing can replace time on ice on the blue paint in the National Hockey League. Nothing can. And to be honest, if you guys all look at last year's playoffs, there's some people, talking about the way Hellebuck was playing. Maybe not as well as everyone had hoped. I mean, he deserves MVP. And and the best, deservingly so. But no one should be putting pressure on Mr. Connor Hellebuck to become some kind of fucking savior for this ice hockey club, especially considering it's not his job to score goals. Other teams in the National Hockey League know who to shut down on Winnipeg Jets lineup. I really think the Cole Perfetti, might be playing on the wrong side. Because the way he tries to position himself and take the time and settle the puck when he gets it right, it doesn't seem like he can shoot across. Okay, it seems like he's got a shooting side, and he keeps trying to maneuver. Maybe if he plays on the other side wing, he won't have to do that as much. Come on, people. Look at it with some discernation. Right, he might be on his offside, and he keeps trying to, he may not be on the shooting side. So maybe if he switched sides, he will struggle less and react more quickly. I mean, he's only 24. Okay, he's still developing a bit. And people, the youngsters, they feel pressure differently than the players over 30. It is not the same experience. The veteran players, after a while, get immune to it. They get callous to it. They start to learn to slow down. They start realizing they have more time. And they don't feel pressure the same way that the younger guys do. And they're more prone to mistakes because they're feeling pressure as though they don't have enough time to get real, or I got to do this and I got to do that. All right. Then they fumble a lot and they have turnovers and they bunch up, like ill-fitting underwears. I mean, you want the truth, you want the facts, and you're all saying, oh, it's simple. It's not rocket science. And I'm just like, well, it's not whatever the fuck you're saying either, some of you. Are you actual hockey fans? Because actual hockey fans are just gonna keep cheering for their team and just gonna be happy that they can watch 82 games. I for 6 years straight. Okay, 5 years straight. Right, I couldn't see the game, so I could only listen to 680. Before that, I could see the Jets games, and yes, more recently, I can see the games. And what I'm seeing is a guy who might be playing the wrong position. Mr. Perfetti. Because goal-scoring professionals in the NHL don't do what he does. And clearly, he's having some struggles. Yes. Also, if he's on the second line, he's feeling that pressure. If he's on a different line, maybe he's not feeling that pressure and gives him time to work on whatever. Okay? Now, see, if you go back and look, you will see what I am talking about. It would be good if Mr. Hellebuck was in a certain rhythm with Mr. Eric Comrie. Eric Comrie got too cold because he hadn't played in several weeks. That's a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. And so the guy had a bad game. Oh, well. It was a back-to-back game. Hellebuck has been playing, right? I don't care if Hellebuck wants to play all the games. Yeah, I would too. Okay, but that's not hockey smart, and that's not the right thing for him or Mr. Eric Comrie or the franchise. I know you guys don't want to hear me shut me down because I'm not saying what you want to hear, and I don't give a shit. I mean, you can hate on me and say, "Oh, females, they don't fucking know." I don't need a fucking penis to understand the National Hockey League. Okay, it's just true story. Also, I have degrees in psychology, and I'm an excellent trainer and organizer and coordinator, and I know how to motivate fucking motherfuckers, especially right in the National Hockey League. Right. So if I work with goalies, it's always word of mouth. And I did consult with an AHL franchise. And I know there were people listening and paying attention to what I was saying when it comes to a specific ice hockey club in Florida. All right. That's part of the reason that game did not go so well for Mr. Eric Comrie, because he was sat for too long and he got cold. And where is he supposed to practice? You want him to go find ice time in a compressed schedule, right, with family and everything, and then, go pay for it out of his own pocket, and then have to, find people who can shoot at 80, 90 miles an hour to practice with. Okay, you guys are the ones being ridiculous. Everybody, let's pull up the big boy pants and the big girl pants and realize this is the National Hockey League. Ehlers no longer is employed with the Winnipeg Jets. Get over it. This is how the National Hockey League works. And I did not see anything that indicated that Chevy or Scott Arniel, I went all the way back through a lot of the articles and interviews on the Winnipeg Jets site over the last 2 years very, very carefully. And I did not hear anyone saying or implying that specifically Jonathan Toews was meant to replace Ehlers. Because he wasn't. All right, I love ice hockey. I'm going to watch whatever ice hockey game I can get. And listen, you all with your exciting fucking ice hockey, let me tell you, you guys, okay, look at the ice hockey players like they're inanimate motherfucking objects, like pieces on a fucking chessboard. They're not widgets or gadgets or robots or disposable fucking razors. There are a lot of Jets fans in conversation and get on there and say, I'm like, okay, well, you guys are already into next year. Okay, well, okay, fuck you. I'll see you fucking next year. These guys play 82 games. We are guaranteed 82 pro hockey games a season. Most seasons. If you love hockey, that's pretty fucking awesome. And the only thing I really have to say to the room, I'm vibing over there, is like, you know what? All else fails, listen. Just get like wake up excited every day that you get paid to play ice hockey in the National Hockey League. And you like it a lot. And fuck the standings, fuck the score. As long as those guys are playing their very best for, yes, the most part, because they have bad games sometimes. There's, like somebody might have to carry a dude on the bench because he didn't get enough sleep and blah, 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 and the kids were sick and yada, blada, blada, has a minor injury that he can play through. And I remember what a lot of the conversation was like from some of you who've been online since the Trashers became the Jets. And you guys had a lot of shitty fucking things to say about Connor Hellebuyck, who's the MVP, who you are now expecting to be the ultimate savior of all things Jets fucking hockey, which is unrealistic. Not a single one of them is superhuman. So I've been taking screenshots of certain chats, and I'm letting you know. And at some point, I will happily revisit them. It is unwise to let your backup goalie get that cold. Okay? And it would be really great, gentlemen, those of you who talk about ice hockey, pregame, postgame, which I appreciate, is maybe you should consider re-listening to the postgame the first hour. Because quite literally, yes, that gentleman, it wasn't Kelly Moore. Right. You quite literally, your voice, the intonation of your voice, which, trust me, I'm not tone deaf. My ears are so finely tuned to human expression. It's insane. I've been hired on a contract and got paid a lot of money to help people interpret human tones and emotional stress. Well, that guy's in distress because he was 100% sure that it was just a stupid decision that, yes, Mr. Scott Arneal and others, right, who have been, right, coaching in the NHL, played with, like many years more experience doing the actual real coaching and assistant coaching and playing, right. And sir, I disagree with you. It was a very, very good decision to have Mr. Hellebuyck take a game off and relax a little, even though he was still sitting on the bench. And it was a very, very good idea to get Combs back in before he got even colder. You quite literally whined. On the radio. Go back and listen. And we got to win them all. I mean, come on, let's face it. Well, we got to win this. Why can I'm just like, hey, this is why sometimes the press and coaches and the press and franchises have that issue sometimes. And sometimes it gets so bad, right? Well, I mean, he just was so damn sure. And I'm like, well, when was the last time you coached an NHL franchise, sir? I think that you should put a little more trust in your franchise and back them and cheer for them until you get 100% evidence that, they're either like criminals or, they don't really know what the fuck they're doing and, they've been fucking up the whole fucking time. And it took me 30 years to ascertain that about a certain club. And I waited for actual physical evidence, and I waited for a couple players to retire so that it didn't affect their careers. The Winnipeg Jets know that they're struggling. This is a battle year. And I don't care if they're losing games. They're still developing some guys. I really do think Perfetti is playing on the wrong side and or the wrong line. Could be both. Goalies watch shooters a lot. Try to figure out how to shut them down. Well, National Hockey League goal scorers don't play like that. Okay? So, all 82, right? I might give Nyquist a little hard time and, Luke Shen. But, that's why I'm like, use the force, Luke. Use the force. And go Nyquist, right? I'm going to keep freaking cheering on Nyquist like, Mr. Nyquist, you got a huge fan. All right. Okay? But he is a solid veteran. Unlike Mr. Cole Perfetti, who is just cute as a button, by the way. Okay? But he's still very young. And he's playing like he's very young. And he gets affected by things that guys like Nyquist, they don't give a flying shit. Who's chirping? Who says what about their game? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he knows how to get up in the mix. And the other thing that some of you people are talking about, I got to get on Winnipeg Sports Talk. But what I'm saying is, did you ever stop to think that maybe some of these players want out? Because they want to play on a team that's likely going to get to the playoffs. Any team that tanks on purpose is nothing but a pile of lying, cheating losers. So, right. Go Jets. Beat the Sens. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Ignore me all you want. But one day, you will find out that I was right. And I'm praying and hoping that it's not too fucking late.